Page 22, Autumn Leaves. This gives us a chance to use our F sharp that we've learned. Let's look this over. It's 2 lines long, 2 short lines long. Treble and bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature. We're in the key of C major. I'm going to keep saying this key signature. You'll hear it so much, hopefully eventually it'll soak in and you'll understand. No sharps or flats is C major. Okay. 4/4 time signature, we've had all that before. And I see a bunch of quarter notes and half notes and one whole note. Now the hands are playing together, so I'm going to take it one hand at a time first. Starting with the right hand, it's 5th finger on G here. That puts the hand in this position. Even though there's an F sharp in the music, the position is here because in the key signature there's no sharps or flats, and that's the position we're going in. Then when I need the F sharp, I'm just going to use the 4th finger. Since it's on the F, I'll use the 4th finger on the F sharp. I'll just move it up when I need to. And you want to develop a feel for that so you can do that without looking at the keyboard eventually. So at the beginning we have a G and then an F sharp and another. Remember the rule for accidentals. It's good from that point on to the rest of the measure in that staff. So that second F is also an F sharp. So. And then the last 2 measures of the first line's half notes is here. You get this. Second line is similar, except for the last 2 measures. In the second line, it's here, and then an F sharp, and a G. Okay. Now again, we're using awkward fingers here, 5 and 4. All I'm doing is transferring weight from one finger to the other. I'm not holding the hand still and trying to use the fingers. The weight's on the little, and then I'm just kind of walking here, like you transfer weight from leg to leg when you walk. That's what I'm doing here. And I'm not using all the weight. It's a controlled weight. I decide how much weight I'm using, but I'm using weight to push it down. If I want to play it really soft, I use very little weight. If I want to play it loud, I use more weight. The hand feels heavy on those. So somewhere in there, but use the weight to do this. Should do it in both hands, but that, yeah, for the technique to do it. Left hand, well, you have a 4th finger here. Put your hand here. Really, the 4 is the only finger number you need. You don't need the 1, because if you do this, your 1 is on that note. If that were some other note where the 1 normally would not be on, then they would need the 1. Let's say it was this note here. If it were this note, then they would need the 1 to tell you, use your thumb on that, because this is the position, and that note, the thumb's not on that note, so they would need to tell you that. But right now, this is the position, and the thumb is on the C. They don't need to tell you to use a 1. You're going to do it. So it's a C and a B, and that's about it for the left hand. Put them together, and here we're in middle C position still, and it's 1, 2, 3, and then together. It's here, and then here, back and forth. You need to develop a feel for this, because you're using different fingers at the same time. Yeah. Second line is, and then here, and then here, and then here. These are together. So you got to develop a feel for these using the different fingers on each hand at the same time. It takes time. And get to where you can do that without looking at the keyboard too. And once you have the notes and the rhythm and all that worked out, then go back through it however many times it takes and get rid of any hesitations you have. It should be a steady beat. It doesn't matter what the speed is, that's up to you, but it's got to be a steady beat. Once we do that, then I'll start thinking about the interpretation. I start with the natural accents. 4/4 time. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just play them a little louder on those and exaggerate it if you have to. 1, 2, 3. See, on the half notes, it's all of them. And I'm dropping the wrist on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you have a feeling for that, then you don't force the accents, you just feel them as you play it. something like that. It's very slight. You have to listen really, really super carefully or you won't even hear the accents, but it's there. The G is just a hair louder than the F sharp. It's there. It's a felt thing. You got to feel it. Then I can think about maybe the phrasing. I'm looking for commas and periods and things. I see commas all over everywhere. So if I lift up between the commas in the words, this is what I'm going to get. See, so I can lift up between the commas. That's a way of interpreting it. Another way might be, I don't want to lift up that much, so maybe I'm going to take the whole first line as a phrase, or the first four measures. I'm not taking it as a phrase because it's a line. I'm taking it as a phrase because if I listen to it, it sounds like a musical thought. So I would connect the whole first line and lift up at the end. The second line is a musical thought. The whole line is. Now on the first line, maybe I don't want to connect the whole line together, but I don't want to lift up between every comma. Well, maybe I only lift up at each two measures. Here, two measures. Lift up. Connect that. So I could do that. I could lift up every two measures. That's interpretation. And it's how you feel it. How do you think it should be? You try them all out. What do you think? What do you like? In this case, I kind of think I like lifting up where the commas are. So the falling, there's a little lift, little silence between them. So that's how I might try it in this case. You can do it differently. It's up to you. As far as the speed goes, it's however fast you want to take it. Just if you were going to sing it, how fast would you sing it? You sing it, not me. I don't know. Something like that. And while I'm thinking about it, make sure on the end of the second line where the double bars are, that should be a thin and thick bar. So widen out that second bar line. Take a pencil and widen that out so it's a thin and thick bar line. Let's play this together very slowly and double check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 4, 4. 2,